ChatGPT, Google Bard, both do the same thing, don't they? But which one do you use? So in today's video, I'll go through these two AI-powered chatbots and examine what strengths each of them have. And hopefully by the end of it, you'll get a better understanding of which is right for you. So it's been a year since the likes of ChatGPT has come out to the public. And since then, we've seen a massive change in the generative AI landscape with similar tools like Google Bard and even Microsoft's Bing Chat coming into the picture. In this rapidly advancing digital age, these tools have become a huge part of how we navigate through life and work. At first, ChatGPT seemed to be the clear breadwinner, but after a year, Bard and Bing Chat have definitely refined their features to make things even better. But before I begin comparing the two, make sure to like this channel so it can be spread to more people, and subscribe to this channel if you want to know more AI tools, tips and tricks to navigate through this digital ocean. So, why do I need to even know about these tools? Well, if you aren't aware already, generative AI tools such as ChatGPT and Google Bard are not just a medium for you to get simple responses. In fact, they're proving to be extremely useful for enhancing productivity, knowledge access, personalization, accessibility, and even more. Taking a quick overview of these tools, we can see that Google Bard is relatively new to the game of large language models. Honestly speaking, calling any single chatbot the best would probably not be so accurate, as each of them have their own pros and cons. So to understand how each forms, I've tested each of them and taken a look at what key pros and cons of each are. So taking a look at ChatGPT, it was released in November 2022, so a little bit more than a year, by OpenAI. ChatGPT uses Generative Pre-training Transformer 3 or GPT-3 or GPT-4 for paid subscribers. And most of the data source that ChatGPT uses is trained on datasets of text from Common Crawl, Wikipedia, books, articles, documents, and content from the internet. The release of ChatGPT definitely made waves as it became one of the most popular platforms on the web. In February 2023, ChatGPT reached over 100 million users. In just 5 days of its release, ChatGPT surpassed 1 million users. So I use ChatGPT quite a lot, and from what I've seen, it has quite speedy response times. ChatGPT is superior to previous generations of AI chatbots because of the speed of its responses, which makes businesses become more efficient. And if you upgrade to ChatGPT Plus, it's even faster. Also, it has the ability to generate human-like responses. ChatGPT can produce more natural-sounding text than previous generations of AI chatbots due to the large amounts of data it was trained on. It also has quite long, detailed responses on topics, and it gives us the ability to learn about a subject quickly. ChatGPT does this relatively well, and it makes it extremely useful for content writers and people who want to get more inspiration when it comes to generating content. What makes ChatGPT so great also is its ability to understand the greater context of the overall conversation you're having in the given thread. The more information you feed it, the more it learns to reason better, and so it may remember something you mentioned or prompted it to know at the very start of the conversation. Also, for anyone wanting to learn programming or is a programmer themselves, ChatGPT supports Python, JavaScript, Java, and a dozen other programming languages. So this makes it great for using the platform as a sort of programming assistant that can help you code faster. And having been out the longest, ChatGPT can understand and generate text in more than 20 languages, which makes it versatile for most of the world. Also, ChatGPT also has its own mobile app, so leveraging the power of ChatGPT is now doable from your very phone. There are also many integrations. For example, if you have the Expedia plugin, you can plug in the details of what you're planning on booking, and it'll give you information about the travel site, links, and export details. Okay, so those all are all great, but what are some of the cons? So since most of the data is being pulled from datasets outside of the internet for the most part, it has a cutoff limit as of this video up to January 2022. So some of the relevancy of the data is a bit limited. Also, although one of its strengths is its ability to create long, extensive text responses, it can be a bit of a downside for those who want to use it as more of a research tool, as most of the responses on ChatGPT are quite text-heavy. While this might be great for writing, this also does come with some issues, as it can be hard for you to read through everything so easily and also make you a bit overwhelmed from all of the worriness. There's also the issue of accuracy in data or hallucinations. Since its output is not perfect, there have been plenty of cases where people have complained about how the information that it puts out is not really that accurate, especially when it comes to numerical values like dates and times, so it'll probably be best to always fact check what you received as a response. And of course, GPT-4, which you can pay $20 per month for, it is a lot better. You can input plugins. You can also have the functionality to upload images and all that stuff. As I mentioned, it is just exactly that, a plus plan. So you need to pay $20 per month to actually upgrade to it. Now, looking at Google Bard, released only several months after ChatGPT in March 2023, Bard uses what Google is calling the Pathways Language Model, or PaLM 2. Trained on what is known as Infiniset, this is a dataset that includes Common Crawl, Wikipedia, documents, and conversations from the web. And also being a Google product, Bard can also search the internet real time to find recent answers and research. Some of the great pros is that it has in my personal opinion, better user interface than ChatGPT. You can tell that Google put a lot more time into making its interface more intuitive and easier to look through. Also, it gives some alternate responses. So besides its initial response, Bard also offers several other drafts or alternatives you can choose from. Also, for those who are a bit lazy to read through all that chunk of text, Bard does offer the option to listen to the text response simply by pressing the sound icon at the top right. Since Bard is linked to Google, it's only natural that you can review through the sources of the response by hitting the Google It button. It will then scan through the response and see what text is associated with which source, although it doesn't work perfectly right now. And of course, right off the prompt bar, you can click on the mic to enter voice commands to talk directly to Google Bard. This is especially useful if you have long, extensive prompts you want to feed it, but take note, as of this video, ChatGPT Plus users or mobile users also have this feature. Bard also gives you the ability to share the response with others or even export it directly into Google Docs or Gmail. If you aren't happy with the response or even want to modify it in a particular way with different tonality, you can use the 3-line icon and choose from a set of options on how you want to modify it. For example, if you want the response to be shorter or longer, you can do so, or perhaps you want a more professional response. Since Bard is searching results and images from Google Search as well, it can provide images in its response to provide you further visual context to its responses. ChatGPT Plus does do this as well. Unlike what you see for ChatGPT Plus users only, with Bard's free version you can upload an image which you can then scan through and grab text from images using its OCR tech. However, as of this video, it works well for English only. But beyond just extracting text, you can also use this image handling feature for quite a lot. You can extract a table from an image, perhaps a PDF file, and even then export it directly into Google Sheets. You can then get a general estimation of nutritional value for images of food. You can also get a general estimation of nutritional value through images of food. This is very useful for people who want to eat a better diet but have difficulty in terms of calculating the total calorie intake. If you have a mathematical equation you aren't sure about, plug in the screenshot of the formula into Bard and it will help you walk through the problem. For those who are out of the loop of specific memes, Bard will do its best to even explain memes or jokes to you so you aren't feeling too much like a boomer. You can also create code from screenshots of specific interfaces. Of course, don't take the code for face value, but it will definitely do a good enough job to get you started. Some of the cons, however, is that unlike ChatGPT, Bard's PaLM 2 is less reliant on large amounts of text data, and as such, it's a lot less wordy. This could be a good thing, but some may consider this to be a bad thing in terms of the extensiveness of its response. Also, Bard only understands prompts in English, Japanese, Korean, German, and a few more other languages. And as of right now, Bard only supports a specific amount of languages. Of course, this is excusable since Bard is still in experiment mode, and of course this will be subject to change over the coming month. Also, Bard is a little bit weak in sticking to context. Don't get me wrong, ChatGPT isn't perfect at this as well, but Bard is a lot worse. It doesn't have too great of a grasp on previous prompts and past conversational context. As such, it can be quite frustrating when you're trying to continue a flow of output without having to repeat a given prompt over and over again. Oftentimes it feels like you have to insert a new prompt entirely just to start all over again. So in the end, all of these chatbots are powerful in their own right, and with the pace of development each of these are going through, we can definitely expect to see more updates, upgrades, and advances in every new month moving forward. While my overall pick remains to be ChatGPT because I am a Plus user, I do think that Google Bard does have a large potential, and I still do use Google Bard in other various ways as well. So for the most part, I leverage ChatGPT right now personally just as a starting off point for brainstorming, and then for Google Bard to kind of double check on the validity of the content and kind of reference back to other resources. If you found this comparison helpful, please like this video as algorithm will push it out to more people, and subscribe to this channel if you want to continue to learn more about AI tools, tips, and tricks.